Oh, fighting games are. There's some big news this week. I don't know what to say fighting games are about.
Yeah.
Fighting games are news. What? All right. So the pretty big news this week is that KOF has finally came out with their big trailer for KOF 15,
Yes.
confirming
And it leaked. Not the trailer, the promotional image leaked from out of China, I think.
Of course.
I was going to post it, but I get my fighting game news from the same place you do, I'm pretty sure. So I was like, well, you'll probably see it.
R/Fighters and Maximilian Dude's channel.
Not even Maximilian Dude's channel, just R/Fighters.
So yeah, the big news is rollback, of course, which is very nice because KOF 14 was a lot of fun to play. Netcode was not too hot, but at the same time, it was fairly decent as delay-based goes.
I mean, the netcode was fine, aside from that one time that we desynced. And
yeah,
and you have to remember that the one time we played KOF 14 against each other, I was secretly downloading shit, and neither of us knew. So. So I'd say, considering the circumstances, it worked very well.
Yeah. What else? Right. And the other thing was, there is a part in the trailer, I swear to God. Did you watch the trailer?
Yes.
Okay. Did your heart skip a fucking beat when the image came on of black boots and red pants walking on screen?
I think I missed that.
Because I didn't. Well, hang on. No, before you get excited, it was Ash, but I swear to God, when they showed just the boots and the pants, I was like, Rugal!
Rugal is far confirmed. Rugal is this close to being confirmed, dude. Genuinely.
How do you mean?
Well, at the start of the trailer, there's a couple of images showing off character story beats that's important to the game, from what I can tell. And it's like, it's mostly stuff considering Orochi, because he's gonna be the big bad again because he's alive and Chris is already confirmed for the game. So
Yeah.
And so they showed off shit, and it was just stuff from Kyo, like Team Sacred Treasures, I think their name was Kyo, Iori, and Chizuru, yeah,
and Iori.
Yeah. So it was just their endings, or their one ending, 2 pictures of their one ending, I think. Then there were pictures of Ash Crimson's ending from 13 or 14 or what? No, not 14. He was dead. But
yeah,
whichever one he was in.
13.
All right, 13. It was pictures from his ending in 13, I think, and there was one other person's. Like there was one other picture, Rugal. So I've gotta assume that means Rugal's probably back. Rugal's probably not black. I know he's white.
Oh, the fucking Russell Crowe gif. I'm black now.
Yeah. But yeah, so Rugal is not confirmed, but Rugal's like this close to being confirmed. So
exciting.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah. Although from what I remember, from what people have said, because I didn't keep count what other people did, and there's, I think, 2 more teams left, but one of them is the team with K-Dash in it, I think, or something like that.
Oh, they haven't showed Maxima yet, have they? I think they've shown K and Gula, but I don't think they've shown Maxima.
I don't think they've shown Kula. I don't remember Kula getting revealed.
Oh, I may be wrong.
Have
they already shown Whip? I don't think they're gonna do the surprise. We're going with K-Dash, Maxima, and Whip again.
No, I don't think they've shown. I don't think they've shown Whip either. I think they've shown Hydern, but I don't remember if Hydern got a team to his own, or if he's with K-Dash somehow.
I don't think. There's no way Hydern is back with Leona and the Akari Warriors, because they're a team of their own. like as always. The question is then, I guess, which team Hydron is on? Because is he going to be like on the old people's team again? Because I don't think they've shown Takuma.
I don't think they've shown Takuma either. Who knows what's up? Maybe it will be a team of K-Maximo and Hydron. That would be weird.
That would be bizarre. I don't think they do that just because Kula's got waifu potential, you know?
Yeah.
And
maybe Kula will be in the last team though.
Do you think that have they already shown off the women's team this year?
Yes. It's Luong, Mai, and someone else who I'm forgetting. Is it Blue Mary? I don't think it would be Blue Mary. Blue Mary deserves better. But
Blue Mary may be the third one for Team Fail Fury. I think this year Team Fail Fury might be Terry, Andy, and Blue Mary because I don't think they revealed Joe. Yeah, if Joe Higashi's there, then he's part of Team Fail Fury. I do remember them revealing Joe. He was one of the first, I think.
I don't remember them revealing Joe, but if he was one of the first, then that's probably why. So
yeah,
I don't doubt you.
You're also just not a big fan of Joe, understandably.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Like at this point, I've given up on freaking on Kim and Yamazaki because like they don't really have much plot. Like they don't really have a lot of reasons to be in the story, and from what I can tell, literally every character in the base roster will have to do something with the story, or at least will have faced Orochi before. So it's not even a thing where I'm not even pissed that Kim and Yamazaki are probably not in. Honestly,
this would be the first ever KOF game to launch without Kim. Then
yeah.
But if he's not there at launch, I guarantee you he's DLC.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing. That launch trailer confirmed all DLC characters are going to be sold as teams instead of individual characters. Which, for one thing, made me go, oh, sports team, here we go! But it also makes me think, there's no way they would sell Chang and Choi as DLC. What if they're holding back Kim for DLC because they want to do what you've always wanted them to do?
I mean, I'd buy the DLC. I buy that
DLC of Kim and his sons? I'm 100% sure you would buy that DLC. I know you.
I don't even like freaking Jae-hoon.
Yeah, but you like the other son.
Yeah, I do like Dongwon.
You can just swap out Jae-hoon for fucking Rugal.
Yeah. Team Justice.
Yeah. Shit, I'll take the American sports team and swap out Brian Battler for King.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't want to do the pizza in 4K?
You know what? I'll make a meme team one day so that the memes won't be dreams, and it'll be Brian Battler and who else is memes off the roster that we know of? Who?
Gurnitz.
Gunnitz, yes. Right, I forgot he's back. Fuck.
Wait, has Gurnitz been confirmed? Did I miss something?
Oh, now we're just all confused because I don't remember seeing Gurnitz, but I took your word for it.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to point out like memes from KOF overall, like meme characters. Because I don't think Gurnitz has been like Gurnitz is confirmed alive. He's not necessarily in the game yet. I don't think.
Oh, everyone's alive.
Yeah.
Like I think like there is just no one is out of the potential.
What if that's the last team? It's somebody else. Gurnitz and Orochi.
What if the final team is Gurnitz, Orochi, and Rugal?
Sure.
The fuck you team.
Yeah. I mean that's a team to freaking stop advertising on. Like that's the team where you go, all right, these are my cards.
Oh God.
Like that's playing poker and putting down a hand with seven aces. Like, okay.
I've got more than there are in the deck.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh no, okay, that's fine. By the way, I might need to step out early for this podcast, but we can hit all the important stuff. Either which way, okay. what DLC team other than Kim and the Dong would you most want to see? Like as a collective team, not a single character, a DLC team. If Vanessa and the Lucha guy weren't revealed, I would go for their team with Seth. Even though I don't play Ramon, I just love Vanessa and Seth that much.
I don't know, because most of the characters that I play are either like, no-brainers like Terry, so he's already in, or Kim in this one instance where he's somehow not in.
Yeah.
There has to be one team that I used to play, but isn't in anymore. The Dead team. For one reason only.
What?
The Dead. DAD.
Dead team?
Yes.
Okay, explain.
Saishu Kusanagi.
Saishu isn't dead.
No, not dead. Not deceased. DAD. Father.
Oh, okay, I heard an E after the D. Okay, the dad team. Okay. Well, Hydarn couldn't be there, but you could still do Saishu, Takuma, and who else? Oh, I mean, Ash's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? Even though he's pretty well just Ash.
I wouldn't know. I skipped those games.
Ha! Oh, God.
Ash Crimson Sr.
Yeah.
I was going to cop out and just say Goro Diamond because he has a kid.
Yeah. Is Goro in the game?
Yes. Goro's already in the game.
Who's the third member of their team then? Because it's not Kyo anymore.
Wait, Benimaru's not on that team anymore. You're right. Goro might not be in the game.
I don't recall seeing Goro at any point during marketing. I remember Benimaru.
I honestly just was like, Kyo and Benimaru are in the game, so Goro has to be there. But Benimaru is not on the team either. I mean, obviously Kyo is in Team Sacred Treasures again, but like Benimaru is also on a different team because of this. Huh.
Goro's missed out on several. Like, I think Goro was pretty well entirely missing during the, like, Ash Crimson era. Except for 13. As bizarre as it is to say, it's like Street Fighter without Zangief, which, again, only really happened once.
Yeah.
But Goro, I like Goro, but Goro's not Zangief. Goro's a bit shit, honestly.
Yeah, Goro's a bit boring. But it's okay.
Like, Zangief's fucking amazing, even if you don't like playing him as a character, just because he's crazy Russian badass who wrestles bears, you know? Oh man, who could they even? Who was Benimaru's old team? Did Benimaru get like Yori's sloppy seconds with the rival team of like IG?
No, because I remember if IG was in the game. Oh, I think he's with Athena or something like that. No, he's with Shunai and the other kid, the sleeping kid, Meiten-kun.
Is he?
I think so.
I think you're right. Who was their old third teammate? The guy who trained Terry.
Yeah,
the old geezer's gone.
Yeah, Shun's grandpa. Freaking. Oh, I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna be remembering his name. Bloody hell! I see him before me. I know what he plays like. Like he has the Master Roshi shit where he becomes really muscular. But like I don't know what his name is.
Cooler than Roshi. It's not even that he becomes big in 14. It's just that he's got a big stand. He's got a stand of himself.
Yeah.
Oh god. Hmm. Okay. I'm trying to think. What teams has IG been on other than just like Iori shit teams? I mean, really, they could just make up any team they want for DLC.
Yeah, and I've only seen IG twice. Both of the times he was on like he was alone. He wasn't in a team.
Okay, you know what wouldn't surprise me?
Yeah.
If they did a like thug team, and it's Yamazaki, IG, and Billy Kane.
Yeah, that could work. I also have a funny team idea.
What was that?
Freaking like I don't even know what to call it, but a team of one of the Kyo clones. Also Kusanagi, also Shingo.
See, I can't see them doing either of the numbered Kyos and Kusanagi at the same time. Bringing back Kusanagi wouldn't surprise me to that much, but both, No, put Saisyu with Kusanagi and Shingo.
But it's not as funny when it's not two Kyos and Shingo trying to fit in.
What? At that point, why not just have Kyo 1, Kyo 2, and Kusanagi?
Because I want Shingo in the game.
Understandable, honestly. Oh, man. What was it? Okay, I think we've talked about the idea of this before. But, like, what if they did a next generation of evil set of Rock? Like, they're probably going to sell Rock as DLC again. Rock and Yamazaki are both, like, guaranteed DLC buys, so they're probably just going to be DLC again. But Rock, Adelaide, and let's just say that us random villain surprisingly had kids.
Krauser.
See, that wouldn't be fun because that'd just be another one of those guys running around, another Howard. And Krauser wasn't that bad of a dude to begin with.
Oh, they could have the guy. I'm forgetting his name. The guy from Garo.
Kane?
Yeah.
I'd love to see a Garo character return. Kane would be a good one, yeah.
And you can get Terry's Garo costume in the game, so.
Ooh, you are right.
You get Team Garo, and it's the kid my thought, freaking one of Kim's kids, and also Kushnud Bot.
There's no reason to bring back Kushnud Butt in a game where Rio and Robert exist, but still, I'd like to see it.
He just needs to exist. No, I know. Put in fucking T-Zoc. Impute him with himself.
What?
Because King of Dinosaurs is T-Zoc.
I know. Like, it was the explanation just that verse is broken reality?
Sure. He resurrected the T-Zoc gimmick. When verse died, the T-Zoc gimmick gained conscience and then became its own person.
T-Zoc just grows a second head. I mean, he's got a bird head and a dinosaur head at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh, yeah, I guess we should also say they fucking made a big deal about, hey, we got trial mode. Like, oh, boy, is that just the meme with KOF now?
Yes.
I'm glad KOF is getting something that people talk about, but it's just so, like, at least it drags more attention to the fact that these trial modes don't actually help new players.
Yep.
All right. Now, what did they? I don't remember. Anyways, was there any other big fighting game news this week? I guess there was Jacko, wasn't there? Or did we talk about her last fighting game, Czar?
I think we talked about her last fighting games, or I don't remember.
Well, she's a meme already.
Yep.
People making her ass.
Yep. There was one funny freaking like drawing like that out of all of like the millions I've seen so far, there was one funny one because the person captioned "You wanted this," and it was fucking Squidward.
People do want that, oddly enough.
I guess.
I don't know. Yeah. Just anything you can think of, somebody out there. And especially
Rule 34. Rule 34,
if it's for
yes.
the meme, yeah. Oh, God. Help us all. We need to go back to when things were right.
We need to go back to the past. Samurai Jack.
Yes. All right. I can't think of any other news this week. Can you?
No, not really.
Damn.
It's mostly just been the promotional image for the KOF 15 trailer leaking, and showing that other character that's basically just freaking Shunai but more interesting with a female character.
Yes, I have seen all that. Have they like given a name to these two new chicks?
I don't think so.
Have they like shown who the third team member is going to be for them?
I don't think so.
Damn.
Maybe it's K-Dash.
Maybe it's K. Just well. Yeah, I guess they'd be team not quite black, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Team wherever Bison is from.
Yeah. Despite the fact that Bison like is very clearly at least some variety of Asian and probably Mongolian.
Yeah. I can't think of any other names. Yeah?
Yeah, I can't think of anything either. I think there's something related to Fight of Animals, but I don't remember what. There's probably something going on with Squirrel Girls.
Yeah, like Makoto Nanoya. She's really doing a number on the FGC.
My mind's still stuck on Fight of Animals. Okay, I think there's pretty well constantly news related to Skullgirls now that it's back under active development. Man, I remember 2 years ago seeing in my Steam library Skullgirls Infinite Beta and laughing like, oh yeah, Infinite Beta, that game is definitely gonna never end its development. How stupid. And it's fucking cut to 2021. Hey, Skullgirls is getting new DLC characters again. What?
Why not? I mean, if there's money.
I mean, yeah, but that sounded like it sounded disgust, but it's just bizarre,
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see more fighting games get more support over long periods of time, But
yeah,
it's just weird.
Imagine if Harada announced the new version of Tekken 5.
See, I'd love for them to actually port the old Tekkens forward.
Yeah, people have asked him on Twitter, and he said that from he's pretty much constantly doing market research for shit like that. But usually, what comes back is that not enough people would buy it for him to be able to properly put the pressure on Namco to do it, so it can't be done.
It sounds like every time Harada looks into something, he just says not worth it.
I mean, with Tekken Cross Street Fighter, he didn't say that it's not worth it. He even put up a tweet longer to say that it's not cancelled. It's just stuck in like it's stuck in the eighth circle of development hell right now. But you know,
Yeah. I like to imagine there is still some guy at Bamco who's still, for some reason, working on a Ryu model or something.
yeah. You know, Harada actually did an interview with Sakurai recently.
Yes, the infamous one where he says people use rollback as a.
No, that wasn't with Sakurai. I don't know who
Oh,
it
that was
was
with
with.
someone else. Yes.
But he's been doing an interview with Sakurai, or he did one. It's been getting released for the past 3 weeks, and the last part is coming out this week, I think.
Oh, all right.
And it's mostly just like personal stuff because like Sakurai doesn't really do interviews with people. So Harada was like, okay, how about we step away from fighting games for a second, or like video games overall.
Yeah.
But it was really like, it's really funny to see how Harada can be out of touch, but while at the same time still being more in touch than the rest of Japanese developers.
Yes, definitely strange.
Because
it's because.
Yeah.
I would say it's because Harada is good at keeping his ear to the ground, but also Harada's very stubborn.
Well, I guess, yeah,
You
stubborn.
don't say,
yeah.
You don't make it a saying of yours, don't ask me for shit if you're not a stubborn person, you know?
Oh, he actually explained that to Sakurai. that wasn't supposed to be.
I imagine Sakurai was a big fan of it.
He laughed, but like Harada was like, you know, I wore this shirt as a joke because people kept asking me about the characters getting released for Tekken Tag 2 or something. It was something like that. So I wore this as a shirt to an event, and then people made a picture of me, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, there are some things that you gotta understand when you work in the kind of position that he does. It will never be lived down, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, it's not even that like he doesn't find it funny anymore or whatever, because he still does, from what I gathered. It's just the way, like, you know, he's fine with people asking him about stuff. It's just like, I don't know how to put it. Like, he regrets doing it just because the joke has been twisted in a way to make it seem sincere.
Yeah.
And he brought that up to contrast with Sakurai, because of there's that one picture of Sakurai with the caption "Never ask me for anything ever again."
Yeah. And that was a very different context, though.
Well, here's the thing: Sakurai never said that, and that's the reason Harada brought it up, because Harada did actually wear that shirt, so he owns that he made that mistake. Sakurai never said that, so yeah.
Yeah, what I mean is, like, people started saying that about Sakurai because it was a joke about Sakurai being, like, the hardest working person in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
The joke was, Sakurai has poured his soul into this game. Please stop asking him to make new ones.
Yeah, and so that like, the thing I brought up with being in touch and out of touch is that, like, Harada tried to explain these jokes to Sakurai, the context of them, and
Sakurai's old.
But the weird thing was that even Harada misunderstood the okay, I don't know if Harada understood the context of the Sakurai picture, because he never explained. Sakurai was too quick to go. Please don't make me say things. And so that's why they left it, because yeah.
I think there's also just going to be a big difference there, and I don't think Sakurai is, like, particularly good at English, right? Harada's famously self-conscious about his English, but he also is generally pretty good at it. Spends a fair amount of time over in the States, and there's footage of him, like, sitting with Maximilian Dude and Kenny McWild, or Kenny Unruly, whichever you want to call him, at EVO, and just sitting and chatting with them. And it's like, you don't really just sit and casually chat with a famous, like, YouTuber if you can't speak his language and he can't speak yours, you know?
Yeah. Harada also, from what I understand.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Is that not bizarre that Maximilian Dude has to be like react to like Tekken reveals and stuff when he's like met Harada several times?
Yeah. But Harada also, from what I understand, is the person who translates all of these interviews. Or at least
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or at least he took the blame for it, because when that rollback thing came out, he released a thing saying that like technically in the Japanese he explained his side of the argument better. At the same time, because there was not enough space on the screen with the type of font that he uses or whatever the hell. Like basically, he had to really like cut parts of his sentences out to make things make sense and flow better in English from what he understood. So basically, he butchered his own stance for brevity.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted to bring something out of this. Oh yeah, Sakurai is surprisingly funny though, because
Yeah.
freaking
Well,
like
he did come up with the "Don't ask me for shit" shirt again.
no, not Harada, Sakurai.
Oh, Sakurai.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I my brain just turned off and auto completed Harada's name in there.
But like he actually made more jokes than Harada did in the interview.
Really?
Yeah, because Harada kept asking him like weirdish jokes that like Harada kept asking him freaking questions about just like, you know, the kind of person he is, because he doesn't get interviewed a lot, and that when he does, it's not about how like what kind of a person he is. So Harada wanted to humanize him, I guess. So he kept asking these weird questions, and freaking like he told Sakurai that Sakurai is mysterious, and Sakurai left and went, oh, then whenever I enter a room, I'm gonna have to play the X-Files theme from now on.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like you know, Sakurai's like during the interview, he's very calm and professional and all that, but so like he breaks character more than Harada does. But then Harada's character is just being freaking loud, kind of. So
yeah.
I don't know what else there was fighting game related this 2 weeks.
Well, I suppose if we think of something, we think of something. If we don't, we don't. So, guess we'll just go ahead instead and talk about what you played. Any fighting games this past week?
Nope. Unless you count the freaking the cat fight mini game in Yakuza 0, which I had to do because I was trying to get all of the freaking the real estate stuff, and you need to play it at least once to finish the real estate side story.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can't say I've done any fighting games this past week either. Honestly.
All right.
The issue is that like it always comes back to this, and I don't want to start at the same talk we have every goddamn episode of fighting games are. But I just don't enjoy playing against the AI, and I don't have internet right now.
Yeah. And I haven't played any fighting games because I just don't feel like it, and like freaking single player content is next to none. So,
Yeah. That's another problem with it. Is most games like I've put up with bad AI for games where like there's still like rewarding single player content, but there's like almost none of those.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say partially the thing to blame is people like you going fighting against the AI is bad, so I will never do it. But the bigger issue than that, the bigger issue than that, well, because like the thing is, when I see people saying things like that, usually what they mean is single player content should not exist in fighting games because so and so whatever the freaking the two people who are freaking.
You're assuming a lot here.
Yeah, but like the two people who are fucking given the job of drafting out the 5 lines of dialogue for the arcade modes. When there are arcade modes even like properly made ones. Like those two people could have done so much better, freaking doing like the netcode. Which I mean, the like which game was it? Fucking hell!
I think it goes up.
Virtua Fighter 5 show the Virtua Fighter 5's latest version shows that freaking like the netcode doesn't hinge on single player content at all. It hinges on the developers themselves.
It hinges on budget and development time because it takes a lot. Like when you're taking an old game and putting it in rollback netcode, that is a massive undertaking. An old 3D game, an old 2D game is still a bit difficult, but it's not such a massive undertaking. Making a new game in rollback netcode is a lot easier.
But yeah, but the thing with the Virtua Fighter 5 debacle, really, with that netcode is that I'm pretty sure Sega of America offered help with getting rollback into Virtua Fighter 5. and then the Ryuga Kotoku studio was like, no, but servers though.
Yeah, that one is like just a very bizarre story of what, like Maximilian Dude outright said it in his video. Okay, I can understand wanting to try and save money by not like putting in rollback netcode because of the development costs for it, but this doesn't seem like it's going to save any more money than just putting rollback in.
Yeah.
This is still spending a lot of money. Maybe they thought from an advertising perspective it looked better to say they made a new one. Because Japanese corporate culture does have that whole thing of don't reuse someone else's material, you know?
Yeah, I don't know too much about the corporate side of stuff in Japan because I don't want to work there ever. Seems like hell.
Yeah, no rational person does, I think. That's part of why they're having such a hard time lately. I can't remember where I found this out, though. I feel like it wasn't Maximilian Dude. I don't think. But I do remember someone who actually knows about things. This is very much a don't take me at my word, though, do the research yourself sort of situation. But I believe there is something about Japanese corporate culture about you don't use other people's things. Like it's looked upon as like bad or lazy to use tech used by other developers. Instead, come up with your own engine, your own formula. So using rollback as a thing that's being used already by like Street Fighter, and especially you gotta keep in mind for a lot of Japanese players, the first time they really encountered rollback was Street Fighter 5, and Street Fighter 5's rollback is infamously atrocious. Whereas Americans, their first encounters with rollback were Street Fighter 3 Online Edition, Marvel vs. Capcom Online Edition, Skullgirls, all games that are famous for having good netcode. So that does come into it. What I was, I guess it may have just been like a thing they can advertise, like, hey, we're doing things different from everyone else, which is like, okay. I mean, I guess it works for us, but like, these servers aren't going to be up forever.
Yeah.
As bizarre as it is, like, Street Fighter 3 Online Edition came out 10 years ago now. You can still go online on Xbox Live and play it with other people. That is going to be there until Microsoft shuts down Xbox Live services for Xbox 360.
Which may be soon.
Will it? Have they shut down Xbox Live for the original Xbox?
I don't know. I don't know about Xbox Live overall. I don't know, like 80 to 90% sure that they have shut down the Xbox 360 store though. And like you can't really register a new account and still use it online properly or something like that. Because I've seen multiple times people around me getting 360s now that they're cheaper. And they're like, well, people said that you can buy games online and it says connect to Xbox Live, but you can't on the 360 now.
Maybe that may be a Hungarian thing because I've not heard of that. And I know for certain that the PlayStation 3 store still works stateside because people are still saying it's the best way to play like God Hand and a few other obscure PS2 games like that.
Yeah, I think the PS3 store is supposed to still be working. I wouldn't be able to check because I don't have a PS3. The Xbox store is also should be working because you can buy 360 games on Xbox One and stuff like that, unless they rework the entire store system and then shut down the 361. Like, I don't know.
That would be kind of funny.
Because like how like I do remember that there was this issue with how you could like you couldn't properly claim on 360 games and stuff like that because if you didn't have a credit card, because they had to put the Xbox One store's shell around the 360 store, but you still access the 360 store. And I think they might have made it so you don't need a credit card anymore, which would imply that they reworked the entire store. And that could mean that the 360 store is also gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What I was going to say though is I know that it like as late as 5 years ago, Microsoft was still trying to float the idea of shutting down the OG Xbox Live, and they were still like every time not able to go through with it because there are still that many people playing Halo 2 on OG Xbox Live.
OJ
And part of, yeah, OJ, there we go. OJ Simpson, he's playing that Half-Life. He's playing that Half-Life 2. Oh God! I feel the aneurysm. Okay, the stroke, whatever. Fuck it. Yeah.
I'll go get
Yeah. Oh, I'm coming for you. All right. So, yeah, I remember that part of the thing with them launching the Master Chief Collection was that they were hoping that they could get the Halo 2 OG Xbox players to move over so they could finally shut down OG Xbox Live, and I don't think they were able to do it.
But yeah, because
instead they just got a new generation of people playing Halo 2. Oh no!
Yeah. But
Stop playing our games.
Wasn't the Master Chief Collection like bad initially, at least? Like, I think it's fixed up now.
On PC, it had initial problems, but they've kept updating it and updating it and updating it.
And I also know that one of the like bad things about the Master Chief Collection, but that's a Halo 1 thing, is that they use the PC port of Halo 1 to base the version of Halo in the Master Chief Collection of.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Did they not change it later? Because I played Halo 1 in the Master Chief Collection, and it's using, at the time that I played it, it was using the remaster, which allows you to press the back button to switch between original graphics and remastered graphics.
But that's the thing. The remaster was built on the top of the PC version of Halo 1, which wasn't handled by actual Microsoft, I don't think. Like it's the inferior.
Oh, okay.
It's the inferior version of Halo 1 to the original console port, or whatever the original console version. I don't know, cause I don't play Halo. Like I just remember like I don't remember what the proper context was with the video, but I was watching some video, and a person who was really into Halo was was explaining stuff about how the Master Chief Collection got things wrong. And one of them was building the Master Chief Collection's version of Halo 1 on top of the PC port because apparently it was mishandled or something, and it graphically the original graphics are like off and stuff like that. Like that's the main thing I remember, because that was the main thing he was driving home.
I guess if he's like super into knowing that stuff, but I played Halo 1 in the Master Chief Collection and it felt fine.
I played Halo. I played both Halo 1 and the Master Chief Collection's version, and I didn't notice a thing. But I don't like Halo, so hey. But I actually have played the PC version of Combat Evolved, so.
I always forget that there were PC ports before Master Chief Collection. The weirder one is that there are PC ports of Gears of War before Microsoft started putting stuff on Valve on Steam. That's just unthinkable to me.
Yeah.
I still can't get used to the PlayStation is now putting things on PC on Steam. That makes no sense to me. Like, what the fuck? Oh man. And of course, whenever you get to port discussions on a fighting game podcast, I'd love to see them port forward more stuff. You know?
Yeah. I don't really have arguments. The more easily the more easily and legally the more easily accessible legal ways to play old games are, the better it is.
Yeah.
The issue is just some of the right stuff, because Oxys can't really port forward Hokuto no Ken.
Yeah, and that's also why we don't have CVS 2 on any reasonable platform.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I wonder how many Tekken games are like. I wonder what the actual like official agreement on Namco using the Street Fighter characters are, because like if it's just until Tekken Cross Street Fighter comes out is the only clause for Namco using Street Fighter characters, then and I'm wondering how many Tekken games it will take until Akuma gets Namco put in a legal battle. He is canon now.
Could you imagine if he was just there for the rest of the series and we never see Tekken Cross Street Fighter just so he can be there?
I mean, I'm fucking down for it, dude. Like most like most actual proper Tekken players don't like Akuma being in the game because he has a different like freaking playstyle and all that, and like he's difficult to fight against and stuff like that, and I understand that and I can sympathize with that. But at the same time, I started having issues with the game design with 6 when they added Rage. So at this point, I'm just like, whatever. If you want fucking rage drives and shit, I don't even know, the rage drives are fine. If you want rage arts, then I'm fine with Akuma being here.
And like from a gameplay perspective, I guess I don't really have a problem with dude. It's just like I never understood like why did they think rage arts were something the game needed. No, I know why they thought rage arts were something the game needed. It's because big flashy super moves sell games. But goddamn,
Yeah, like once again,
it's just so out of place.
I mean that's my thing with rage. Just overall, I just don't like it as a mechanic. Like there's. Yeah, I feel like they could have done EX moves better than rage drives. I'm fine with EX moves existing in Tekken because you can explain them logically. Rage overall and rage drives I just don't like or rage arts I don't like as mechanics. And if they were gone from Tekken tomorrow, then I wouldn't mourn them. Like I get the reasoning behind rage being in the game. I just disagree with it. Like I honestly, if rage is the thing that gets me to win a fight, then I should have lost.
Yeah.
Like if rage is the only reason I can win a fight, I guess is the better way to put it. If rage is the only reason that I pull a fight out, that I don't feel like I actually won that fight. I won on technicality. It's like getting the points from the judges in boxing. Like, sure, technically it's still a win, but it doesn't feel the same as when you knock a guy out.
Yeah. It's... It just makes no sense to me. From a gameplay perspective,
Yeah, I mean, from a gameplay perspective, it makes sense to me because with the explanation of it's a combat mechanic for newcomers because they need the handicap. But it's a universal mechanic in every mode.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. Like, it is kind of funny though how when it comes to shit like this, I'm a fucking boomer. Because I'm like, just give me freaking Tekken 5. And I'm fine. Like, give Tekken 5 more moves, or like, the newer moves that I've grown used to by now. Put the new characters into Tekken 5 as well. I don't really care. But like
okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Which is the worst comeback mechanic? Fucking Rage Arts or X Factor?
That's a good question. Oh boy. I mean, X Factor is X Factor really a comeback mechanic? Because like I know that it was designed. I know it was designed that way, but it's not really a comeback mechanic. It's just you have a Roman cancer and also buffs. Or at least that's how I use it.
I mean, in a way, like, if you perceive it that way, then there are no comeback mechanics, because Rage Arts are just a super move that you get at low health.
True.
And doesn't X Factor
But-
increase in strength depending on how few teammates you have?
I think so, but at the same time, you can pop X Factor anytime. Like that's the thing that sets it apart for me is that Rage is like inherently tied to your health. X Factor changes its strength depending on your health and the amount of characters you have. But you can pop X Factor in your first combo and it will work mostly the same way it would if you did it in your last one. And
Yeah.
considering this is Marvel, your first combo probably is your last one. So
So enjoy God, boy.
you got eaten.
That's okay.
All right.
All right.
But yeah, I think Rage Arts are worse than X Factor, even if I think like X Factor is a bit too oppressive to my taste, but that's partially just because Marvel doesn't have bursts. And that's my big issue with Marvel that I keep bringing up every time that we discuss Marvel is just Marvel doesn't have bursts.
I think it could stand to benefit from it, and I think honestly, like Strive is like selling super well. I think that there's a good chance if they do Marvel vs. Capcom again, part of their whole thing is going to be trying to make it more accessible to casuals because Marvel vs. Capcom has always been a difficult series for casuals. And one of the things I could see them doing is burst because that does make it more acceptable.
Yeah,
They'd probably have a dedicated burst button though, or make it like stupid easy to do bursts because like I'm a fighting game veteran and I still forget the button combo for bursts most of the time.
Bursts are just than any attack button.
I'm going to forget that.
Those two buttons, and that's it.
I forget it every time, dude.
I know, but like it's already stupid easy to do.
Like they're going to have to figure out some way to get people to memorize it because fuck. And like,
yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting to see the next few years in fighting games though, because we are already seeing the turnaround on these kind of things, where it's already kind of switching over to like fighting games are being made too casual and so on. And I think that while Strive makes a lot of missteps, I think there are a lot of things that Strive does really well that various video games can and will learn from. But at the same time, it's going to be interesting to see as that contrasts with a lot of people like yourself saying that fighting games are getting too simplified.
I mean, I'd be fine with Strive if it didn't feel so off when you actually play it. Like my biggest actual issue from playing, like keeping me from buying and playing Strive, is just the game feel. Because like I'm fine with it being closer to Street Fighter because I play Street Fighter. It's nothing new to me. Like it's okay. I made us think about it, and I will continue making us think about it. I guess I don't know, potentially about how people have lost moves and freaking like the characters that I play aren't in or whatever. But I can adapt to that. My biggest issue with Strive was that because of how like the pacing basically, how much time it felt like passed between being able to pressing the button and the character actually doing the move and stuff like that. That's the things that actually made me kind of dislike Strive. I mean, okay, the thing that made me dislike Strive, because I don't really like Strive is in this place where I just don't care. Like I don't hate on it, or I don't go out of my way to hate on it because there's nothing for me to hate. It's not a game made for me, and that's okay. But at the same time, I'm not really like looking for its news or whatever because I don't care. It's not a game made for me, and that's okay.
Do you think that Guilty Gear has? Do you think that Guilty Gear has input delay?
Strive, yes. Like okay, not input delay. I specifically think it's startups of the moves, but I don't actually know because like the actual like moves I'm fine with because I play Tekken and Mortal Kombat. I mean Mortal Kombat less so, but Tekken also has the dial combo stuff, and that feels roughly the same between those two. And I'm fine with Tekken doing it. It's just the movement. It felt like the movement was delayed on the PS4 at least. I don't know about the other versions.
The characters don't move very fast. Okay, that's a bit different. Yeah, it does. that's I always felt the same way about Sam Show. Oddly enough, where Sam Show it felt like the movement, like I would
Which
input
one?
move left, and your character like it's like the movement picks up speed over time in those games, right?
Which Sam show?
Uh, well,
Because
Sam
two,
Show one for one, and for another. Which ones did you have me play? Which ones do we play?
we played two against each other.
Okay, well, just one and two then, I guess. Did you not
Yeah.
have me play four?
No, we played 5 through SharePlay, but SharePlay isn't a real good way to gauge stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because
you can't gauge it off of that. Yeah.
and I mean technically two also we can really gauge off of the way we played against each other because the Sam Show 2's 360 port came out in like 2008. So so it was
back when nobody gave a shit.
I mean, not only that, but back when delay-based netcode was what people who are praising like, or who are freaking acting like rollback is Jesus. The delay-based netcode in Sam Show 2 is what people who are sucking rollback's dick think delay-based netcode is. And delay and rollback is better, or mixed netcode using the sense of the two is better between or freaking than delay or just raw rollback because apparently raw rollback like. Okay, I don't freaking actually know the proper mechanics of how like Street Fighter V's netcode works and stuff like that, or like how something with GGPO works. But from what I understand, Street Fighter V's netcode is bad because it's just rollback. It's not a mixed thing like GGPO where it has the strengths of rollback and delay base, so that it can switch between the two on the fly when it needs to, and then freaking. Like, you know, have a better connection overall. It's just rollback, which makes people teleport all over the place, and it's just like not well implemented at all. But yeah, delay-based netcode,
Yeah.
I understand. Rollback or GGPO, like mixed netcode, I understand. But raw rollback, just rollback on its own, to me is not any better than delay-based because both are shot in different ways. Mixed netcode is good. I'll advocate for mixed netcode.
I'll say that I prefer rollback over. I prefer badly done rollback over badly done delay. That's one thing I'll say. Which, yeah, that's been another thing of just like the shifting times. Is that like another thing that informs people's views on rollback also is again like the earliest memories people have of rollback is GGPO because that's what Marvel.
But my
that's what Skullgirls and Marvel and Street Fighter Online editions ran on.
Ah. Yeah, my earliest thing of rollback was freaking Killer Instinct 2013, which we played against each other, and it ran horrible. Somehow.
Right. Killer Instinct 2013. When did we play that against each other?
2018, I think.
2018, and it ran horribly.
I mean, it wasn't Sam Show 2 levels of bad, no, definitely not. But it like you were like, oh, freaking, can you guys feel how good this netcode is and all that? Meanwhile, I'm playing the game with like what like it felt off. It wasn't jumping all over the place. So I don't think I don't know what went wrong with that session, because when rollback goes wrong, people start jumping all over the place. But the freaking like what I remember me making a fuss about during that session was that you were praising the netcode. Meanwhile, it felt like I'm just playing any delay-based fighting game. Like it felt the same as Virtua Fighter.
I mean, Killer Instinct. I don't know exactly like what to say here because this is kind of like just a feeling thing, and it felt bad to you. It didn't feel bad to me. Obviously, I was saying it didn't feel bad to me at the time. But that may have just been issues you have with the way Killer Instinct naturally handles movement and combos.
Maybe.
Which is something you've always professed to have an issue for.
Yeah.
With. Oh, God. Flies.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if the same issue arose today, like if we still had a way to actually like play that game, and the same issue arose today, I could explain better what my issues are with that netcode or the game or whatever. Like, you know, I could actually discern what the issue was there. But considering I'm just going off of what I remember, and also like having rewatched that video a couple times, like that I can't know for sure what the issue was. It's just this is what I said it felt like at the time. This is what I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, how did we even get here? Oh yeah, the turning tides with the games getting more simplified. Like, yeah.
Like, I think that sales count for a lot, but at the same time, like, what communities say count for a lot, both at the same time. And right now, sales say that Guilty Gear Strive is doing something right, but also communities are saying Guilty Gear Strive is doing something wrong. And historically, things have shifted because of both factors. So the question I think will boil down to, what do dev teams think Strive did right, and what do dev teams think that Strive did wrong? Which I think, just immediately listening to communities, the issue people have with Strive is simplification. And I think that if you just crack open a fucking copy of Strive and play it, you can pretty quickly see a lot of what it does right for making things more acceptable for beginners, which is like stuff like when you mouse over a character, it explicitly says what they are good at, like what role they try to shoot for, right? Because like with Soul and Milia and Eno, it's like, hey, this character is aggressive. And with Key and Nagoriyuki, it's like this character can do a bit of anything. And you play like Faust or Axel, it says like this character likes to be at long ranges. And then you can go in the move list, and it'll tell you what each move is good for. And for new players, there's like some moves that's pretty self-explanatory. Throw a fireball that shoots in people's face. But then there's some stuff like parries that new players are going to be like, what the fuck? Why is my character just making a weird pose and then doing nothing? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, especially God help you for stuff like, what do you think the average reaction of your typical player is when they first play Guilty Gear X2 and they pick Baiken and they go in the move list and they see those 4 different counters she has and they try to do the inputs and they just don't come out? You know?
Yeah. I mean,
which I think is a big part of why
it's the same reaction. It's the same reaction I had when I tried to learn Geese when I was 6, playing CVS2. Which is I guess this character only has like 2 specials. I guess I'm not playing them.
Yeah, I do remember that as well. The first time I played Geese, I was like, what the fuck? This guy does 2 moves. Fuck this character. I'm gonna go play Terry. Man, like, that'll be the ultimate game of trying to figure out how to get new players into something. Try and figure out a way to get people to do Deadly Rave as Geese without simplifying Deadly Rave.
I still can't do Deadly Rave.
I can't either. Like, the common talk is the pretzel, right? Like,
yeah, the Deadly Rave is a lot harder because Deadly Rave requires memorization. The pretzel is pure execution. You do it like 3 times in a row, and then you can just do it whenever. I should know, because to play Hazama, I have freaking Hazama's Desperation Super is 2 pretzels back to back, and I can do Hazama's Super or whatever, Hazama's Desperation Super pretty consistently. So, yeah. But both Deadly Rave and freaking what was it called? Rippeneck. Both Deadly Rave and the older Soul version of Dragon Install are just things that I don't think I'll ever be able to properly do because it requires a lot of memorization. Same with just King, the entire character from Tekken.
Yeah. Like, there's some game, I forget if it's either CVS2 or Garo, where I'm like, yeah, Rock Howard, he's the best! And it's like the one big super move he has that uses all his meter is fucking Deadly Rave, and it's like, well, guess I won't use meter.
Yeah, I think in CVS2 his only super, or was only like full super, was Neo Deadly Rave.
Yes, he's got a lesser super for using Raging Storm, but it's the shittier version of Raging Storm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's not things to do with meter in CVS2 anyway, so I guess I was just being kind of persnickety. I just like to be unpredictable, you know?
Yeah.
And it bugs me when there's a move in a character's moveset that I'm not good enough to do, you know?
It's why I don't play Angel or King.
And Hell can be learned, she just takes time. Like, she's within my limits of execution, which means that she is definitely within your limits of execution.
Dude, I've tried to play it to learn how to play Angel twice, and I concluded that I can play Angel with only normals. I can do
How long
footsies
ago?
When we the last time I tried, the second time was when we were getting ready for the KUF 2002 fighting games are, so pretty recently.
That was very recent. Yeah.
So I can do footsies and Hell, and that's about it.
Oh boy, yeah, Angel is not a footsies character.
Yeah.
I can play footsies with you if you get real fucking close.
I mean, it works. It works
Come
for.
Here, I'm gonna fucking stab you.
I mean, it kind of works for like. It works like okay. This is gonna be a weird sentence, but you could potentially play footsies and Hell as defensive rushdown. As in you use spacing, like if you were playing rushdown, but you play more defensively than you would in with those movements overall.
Yes.
Like I could see that working. I'm not saying that I could be able to pull it off because I don't think I know enough about Angel or just like overall defensive options in KOF 2002 to be able to do it properly. But you know, the option is there. I think maybe.
Yes.
There was something about bursts I wanted to bring up because that's what led us to the simplification of fighting games, but I forget what it is. Oh yeah, like that's a thing that I've seen people like complain about, you know, with the freaking like with Marvel and some other like games during that time, and with hyper fighters that were released after that, you know, like you get converted off of a stray hit and it's like a 50 hit combo, and that's my thing for liking bursts because like bursts justify the length of a combo. Because if you have a burst, then it is just meter management on your end to have a burst out of a combo.
Yeah.
And like that's my thing with like I don't even know how many hyper fighters there are because like the ones that I can think of off the top of my head, most of them have bursts but yeah. Like I do remember that there was a time frame when I played a couple of freaking like air dashers and none of them had bursts, and I was like, why? These games obviously need a burst. They're one of the best things that Guilty Gear has added to the freaking genre. Why are they not here?
It depends on if they're trying to imitate Guilty Gear or Marvel, right?
Well, yeah, but Marvel is also missing a burst.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Like one of the main things people bring up against Marvel is touch of deaths, and like hyper fighters overall, really people bring up touch of deaths, and like I would want to disagree with them because I like I like the amount of mechanics and moves that can lead to that touch of deaths, but I don't like touch of deaths either. Like to me that's why bursts are there. Like sure, there's burst baiting combos and stuff like that, but then that's a mind game. That's technically part of footsies. Like I don't even know how I could argue against, like, you know, I don't know how you could balance bursts to not be baited and still keep them balanced. Because bursts leaving you a bit freaking what's the word I'm looking for? Like defenseless. The bursts leaving you a bit defenseless after you do them is fine because bursts, if people are clawing up your ass, then bursts push those people the full length of the screen and give them a hard knockdown. Yes. So it can be justified if their wake up is not faster than the amount of time it takes for you to recover from the burst, which it shouldn't take them less time to wake up than it takes for you to recover. But then there's the issue of like freaking touch of deaths being or baiting bursts, and that can be a mind game. At the same time, like I don't know. Like there is one thing that I guess my knowledge is not enough for me to actually know what the possible freaking like negatives and positives for it would be. Because I still people sometimes complaining about touch of deaths of basting burst and stuff like that, but at the same time, that's a mind game.
Yeah.
So like, I guess it may just be people who don't know how to combat it, freaking complaining about it, but then I don't know.
I think the other like inevitable thing is like being able to do other things with burst, which I think is one of the neater things in Guilty Gear that you can like. Did Guilty Gear X2 have it, or did Revelator introduce it, where you can burst from neutral, and if it hits the opponent, then you get full meter?
I don't know, but I think that's Red Bursts, but I don't know which one introduced it.
Either which way, I think that's a very interesting way of handling it, to give you something else to do with it, to sacrifice your defensive possibility for offense.
Yeah. At the same time, I don't think it works as well in games like Uni. Like, not bursting overall, just the way they decided to complicate their burst, because it feels a lot closer to X Factor, and I just don't like X Factor.
Yeah. No one does.
But like, Veil Off is a burst that also gives you full meter, but the full meter is on a timer, and it just doesn't really do a whole lot. And you can also only do it once per match, which I think is the biggest reason I don't like it. Because like, technically from a design standpoint, you're freaking like they're sacrificing reusability for the meter, but I don't think the meter justifies the lack of reusability. Like I would rather be able to burst multiple times per match than have meter. Especially in Uni, where you can literally just freaking get meter out of the air.
Yeah. Games have that, other than KOF and Fighter Z are the only games besides Uni that allow you to just build meter standing still, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, that was a weird time for KOF.
I mean, technically, Uni doesn't allow you to build meter standing still. You use meter to build the grid meter, and then you can roaming cancel and get 60% back.
Ah, okay.
I think it's up to 60%. So yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to step out in just a little bit, by the way.
All right.
So, is there any particular last thoughts?
I don't think so.
I don't think I've got anything in particular to throw in at the end here either.
All right. I guess fighting games were.
Fighting games were. Whoa!